You gotta be my patient, homie.
Yeah.
At least for right now.
And this permit's just gonna come out and take over because I've gotta go downstairs. 40-inch SID.
40.
Okay. Go ahead and put your back against the board, sir. Okay. Should be crosswise for these. Okay. All right. Since he is a tall gentleman, I'm gonna go ahead and I can do a lot of this eyeballing early on. So find clavicle here. Okay. So I got clavicle here. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust my nope.
Sure.
All right. So all right, I'm gonna have you go this way a little bit for me. Okay. All right. So you find clavicle. Okay, so from here, as it said, you can go just medial, but his is actually he's got really nice coracoid too. So that coracoid, usually you can go right here below, and it kind of pushes back against you. What I'm doing right now, do not do to a patient, please.
Do not do.
Do not do that. So
You don't need to push that hard.
no. So, but here I got clavicle, and it's literally just below. We need to be how far on a shoulder below it?
2.
2 to 2.
For a shoulder?
1.
Thank you. 2 is for what?
Yes. 1.5 to 2.
2 is for the scapula.
Scapula.
Oh.
Sorry.
All right, so I find jugular notch. I'm gonna have him slide over just a little. There you go. So I usually split the jugular notch with my light field. All right, so again, coracoid, I'm an inch below it, which is nice, but again, find, sorry, I'm stuck on my toes already. There we go. I usually, again, find the jugular notch on your patient, split your light field down the middle. Okay, light field should be hitting part of that, so that make sure I get my SC joint, because my clavicle has to meet the manubrium, okay? All right, I have a little here, I can still see part of my all right. What I'm gonna get you to do for me, sir, is just put your palm up for me, just like that. Sweet. All right. So what we're gonna do, set your technique in the back. Should be wall bucky. Okay? Just have him take a nice, just tell him to hold his breath. Don't breathe, don't move.
Moved.
He can turn his head away, it's fine. He's allowed to do that. All right, from here, this is our external. So all I'm gonna get him to do now is I'm gonna get you to take your hand like this and just kind of turn it in, just like there you go. I can feel right here on his humeral epicondyles, on the distal aspect of my humerus, I can tell they're perpendicular. Okay? That's what I want. That's all I have to do. Should not, once this and this for these projections, that's it. Literally here to here, that's it. You should not have to adjust this at all. If you do, Lord help you.
Probably have a different patient.
Yeah. All right, so from here, same thing, hold your breath. Or don't breathe, don't move. Okay? Also, you're going to shield said patient. Okay? As I mentioned before, waist up, off. Because sometimes, especially with women, the shoulder straps, they will be right in the way. So, gotta take those off. Necklaces too, because they like to, show up as well. All right, so from here, what I'm gonna get him to do now is I'm gonna get you to take your hand and put it right across your stomach for me. Okay. Now this, when I was talking about, and I showed y'all on Fox, put my hand right here, top finger here, this here. This lets me know right here. And he's got thicker shoulders. But I can still do this and I can still feel joint space, okay? And I'm barely squeezing. Don't do that. Because if they have an injury, you're gonna be in big trouble and you might end up having some paperwork to fill out because you did something you weren't supposed to. So, all right, so from here, it's like, all right, I'm gonna have you turn up towards me. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, all right, I'm gonna have you slide over just a smidge. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is I'm going for joint space. People get confused thinking that it's gotta come across here. No, joint space. So I hit here, my thumb, my crosshair is hitting right where my thumb is. That is joint space, okay? He is actually angled pretty well. I only have to do him about 35. Your broader patients, you don't have to go as steep. Your thinner patients, oddly, you do, okay? So, if I wanted to, I could actually, because again, I'm not worried if I don't have clavicle in here, because remember, on this one, the clavicle gets projected inferiorly. So if I wanted, you could do this a little bit. Collimate just a smidge. Move this over. Again, have him don't breathe, don't move. And you would have shielding in front of him. You do have the shield for these patients. Okay. We're gonna pretend that's there.
Yeah, it's a little
So. Well, yeah, he's tall, so we'd probably put one that actually went around his waist. So that's your first three. AP, internal, Grashey. Haven't had to touch either one of these. Okay, we change positions because that's crosswise. Okay, that's your first three.